don't get more than one. Only one time. Time now to hand out some NFL superlatives. With the added 17th regular season game this season, we have a great chance to see some of the game's stars make a great run at breaking single-season records. So, Chris Broussard, options aplenty. Which player is most likely to break a single-season record?
Patrick Mahomes. You happy, Nick? Patrick Mahomes will break or is likely to break the single-season passing yardage record by Peyton Manning. Here's the deal. Mahomes needs to average, or somebody needs to average, 322.2 yards per game to break Manning's record of 5,477, I believe it is. Mahomes is one of only 3 players to ever average more than 315 passing yards a game more than once. He's done it twice in 3 years. All right, last year he was at 316. And what I think, Nick, is that the Chiefs, with that middle-of-the-road defense and a tough schedule, they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. So Mahomes is going to need to throw for big yards. And so I think that's going to benefit Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, obviously. And I think Mahomes is going to have a huge season. And I'd say he's most likely to break Manning's record.
All right, before I respond to that, I don't know if we can put it full screen again, but it's still in the corner of your screen. At some point, we're going to have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is Tom Brady's headshot. And what's actually happening to Tom Brady's face as he ages in reverse. But today's not the day for that. Now, to answer the question, it's going to be very difficult for Patrick Mahomes to break that record when he rests week 18, maybe week 17, and possibly week 16. Last year, Patrick Mahomes would have won the passing title, but he rested week 17. Travis Kelce was in line to win the receiving title, first tight end ever to do it, but he rested week 17. So I don't think Mahomes is going to do it, and I don't think they're going to be I think they'll be in shootouts early and then running the ball to salt away victories late en route to 17-0. So I'm going to go with a team that I think is going to be very good, be playing from ahead a lot, which is going to force other people into passing situations. Myles Garrett breaks the 22.5 sack record held by our dear colleague, Michael Strahan. I think it happens this year. He's been almost a sack a game over the last 3 years. He hasn't been able to play all 16 or this year 17 games. One time due to injury, one time due because he conked Mason on the head with the helmet. And so we haven't seen the full year from him. This is the best Browns team. He's going to have Clowney as a bookend or Clowney next to him at times possibly. So it's going to be harder to target just him. And the Browns are going to be ahead a ton. And I don't think they're going to play a month of football in rain and windstorms where nobody passes the ball like they did last year. So I think if one of these records is going to be broken, Wilds, I think it's Myles Garrett breaking Michael Strahan's sacks record.
So I feel like you have like a lot of good takes in like stuff that's like thought out and interesting most of the time. Your worst take, and yes, Jenna, this is worse than the neck size take, is that the Cleveland weather is going to change this year. You've said it a few times over the last few months. You're like, you know what? It's not going to be rainy and windy. Like, yes, it is, and there'll probably be bugs. There'll probably be a bug game, just like there was with the Indians. There's going to be a bug game. There's going to be a windstorm
I just don't think it'll be quite as bad as last year. I just don't think last year was particularly awful.
Why? We're going the wrong way.
I don't know. My farmer's almanac tells me that this year it'll be a little better.
Okay, Cleveland still rocks. Don't get me wrong. But get a raincoat. Okay, my answer is courtesy of another great BB mind, not Bill Belichick, Bill Barnwell, who noted that Harrison Butker could break Matt Prater's extra point record. Right now, the extra point record is at 75. Harrison Butker, who recently kicked a long 64-yard field goal to give the Chiefs a day off. Don't talk about complacency, taking days off. Just for the record, no days off in the Patriots, days off here. Patrick Mahomes seems happy.
A lot of days off during the playoffs last year, buddy.
Harrison Butker could break 75. I'm going to say 76 extra points. He gets the record and sells some butt kicker merch. Big win for everybody.
Oh, I like that. It's a good take. I like that.
Super. Hey, can we talk about number 12? right there, Aaron Rodgers, after the Packers quarterback became just the 6th player ever to win the MVP award 3 times last season. Career high 48 touchdowns in 2020. Rodgers ran away with it, but Broussard, which long shot is the best bet for MVP this season?
Jameis Winston. As you guys know, I am high on famous Jameis. I think people are sleeping on him. He's going to have a strong season. They're going to win a lot of games. I got them making the wild card. But look, they gave Tampa Bay, we know they routed the Buccaneers twice last year with Drew Brees. All right, Drew Brees threw for 6 touchdowns in those 2 games against them. And Winston gives them something that Drew Brees did not, which is a deep threat. All right, he can throw the ball downfield very well. We all know that. I think a year under Drew Brees, learning at his feet, under Sean Payton, I bet you his control is much better. His decision-making is much better. And the defense is going to be strong. Marquez Callaway, I like him as a receiver. Michael Thomas will be back at some point. I think Jameis Winston, dark horse candidate for MVP, Jenna.
Jameis is more likely to get benched than win MVP. If Jameis wins MVP, I'll shave my head again. I will go, and I'm not just like it used to be with the fade.
No,
I'll
we don't want to see that.
I will go cue ball bald if Jameis wins MVP. There's long shot, and then there's impossibilities.
Can we do something
guess
else?
what? It's not going to happen. I could have said I'm going to get a teardrop tattoo. It wouldn't matter. It's not going to happen. Now, I'm going to give you one, Jenna, you're going to like. Long shot MVP, a guy who we know is going to be talked about, whose team, at least Broussard and I both think is going to be really good, Baker Mayfield. Oh, Baker. Is this the year? Everyone's like, oh, Josh Allen's the best quarterback in draft class. Oh, don't forget about Lamar. Oh, Sam Darnold with Carolina got out of Adam Gase. Baker, you know, just humble Baker, just doing his thing, winning playoff games.
Humble Baker.
Throwing 2 picks the second half of last season.
Right.
You know, or I don't know if you saw
Baker.
on the IG. I sound like such an old man. Did you see on the Instagram? I don't know if you saw on IG.
Did you go on the internet?
Baker getting his teammates together, a little workout in the mountaintops. I don't know exactly where they were, but it looked gorgeous. Don't know why I didn't get the invite, Odell, but no problem. Baker Mayfield, good long shot to win MVP. Little 13-4 Browns season. Baker Mayfield buzz. I like it. And Wilds. What should help Baker this year? Unseasonably calm weather in Cleveland, so those passing numbers can really go up.
Okay, long shot for MVP.
Your
Jenna.
Cleveland takes.
He's the favorite for a Clio Award for all the commercials he's going to do. So I know you love that. I know you love Baker's new commercial. He's doing the
Literally,
concession
they
stand.
just came out with another one. I saw this
Great
morning. It's on his
commercial.
Instagram.
Yeah, it's really good.
Go on.
It's really good.
Good guy. Yeah, best actor.
It's average.
All right,
The flea sale, the flea market. Anyway, go on.
My answer is a guy who everyone's like, hold on. Once you start to dig into this guy's numbers, you're like, whoa. His numbers match up against Aaron Rodgers if you kind of, you know, make the season go a little bit longer, like last 20 games. His name is Ryan Tannehill. We know he's got the best running back in football. Now, and I know you were going to say Tampa Bay's got the best receiving core and Dak's got the best receiving core. All right, I don't need to tell you don't need to tell me the 4th wide receiver is actually a number 1 wide receiver. Tennessee actually has 2 number 1s with Julio Jones. So he could throw the ball a lot. Also because Mike Vrabel, and God bless him, great Patriots defensive player, his defense still might be bad. I think they'll be better, but if they are bad, Tannehill's going to be slinging that thing. His numbers are going to be crazy, and Tennessee's going to win a lot of games. Watch for Tannehill, sneaky MVP.
His numbers have been crazy. That part's true.
Nice. I like that.
Wilds is all in. Take a look. These are the teams that finished last in their divisions last season, all the bounce-back candidates. Let me start with you, Broussard. Which team most likely to go from worst to first? Worst place to first place?
Well, this one's obvious, Jenna. It's San Francisco. They were only last place last year because of all the injuries. Debo Samuel, Nick Bosa, Jimmy G, George Kittle, Raheem Mostert. All those guys are back. I know the division is really tough, but they've got as good a chance as anybody, Seattle or the Rams, to win that division. So this one is a simple one. I know Nick's going to come out with something way out of left field to make a hot take, but this is the logical answer, America. It's San Francisco.
Listen, I like San Francisco. I have San Francisco going to the conference championship game. It is a good answer, but I don't think either one of us have them winning the division. I think there's a couple teams. I think you make the case for the Falcons. If Tom Brady all of a sudden looks old, the Falcons, I think, are going to be the second best team in that division. But I'm going to go with a team that only has to be better than one team to win the division. Jacksonville Jaguars. Hear me out on this, America. We know the Texans are terrible, and the Colts already, the season from hell has begun. So the Jags start the year in second place. Tennessee, they lost Arthur Smith, who is, in my opinion, huge part of the credit for Tannehill's growth. And they are so Derrick Henry-centric. Derrick Henry is butting up against all historical precedent for workload over 2 years. They're now going to rely on him for a third year. Wilds just mentioned the defense isn't great. So if Tennessee stumbles, could Jacksonville and my large-necked adult son, Trevor Lawrence, find their way to 9 victories? Could they? I think they could. So, little sleeper, little dark horse. If the Titans stumble,
Cue the net.
Jags at 9-8, get in there.
Cue the net.
Get in there, Wilds.
Wow. It's a great take. All right, I'm going to go with the Patriots. You know, we added $150 million worth of free agents. We got Mac Jones. So I could see us going from worst to first. And I know Nick Wright's like, hold on.
You weren't worst.
Oh. My friends, if we're not first, we're last. So in my book, we were last. I know for you guys and teams you root for, you're like, oh, we were second, we were third, we were fifth.
Roll animation.
We're not first, we're last. In my book, we were last.
He's breaking the record.
That means they got to win the Super Bowl.
The former face of Wild's Patriots, Tom Brady, has made quite the habit out of throwing parades in the middle of February. Random note, the end of February is my birthday. That's not important now. Is Brady clearly